Las Vegas, Nevada, who are we talking to?
Angel Dark here,
Where are you from originally?
Czechoslovakia. I was born in Czechoslovakia, now Slovakia. Because it was that other part, which is Slovakia.
And what is that country, city like? Is it like a middle class or is it?
I was born in the little village actually on the border with Ukraine, all the way over there, like that little. So yeah, that area is pretty like low. It's like, yeah.
Do they have the same educational system like we have here, where you go to grade school, then high school?
With you go to school from age 7 till you are 14, then you decide what you want to do. So it's not like here, like the high school, because you can go to the high school for 4 years and then do the university, right? Or you can decide what you want to do, like being like a mechanic or cook, or like I have economy school for 4 years. So when you finish that as 18, 19, you can already start working with some kind of whatever you specialize in. And if you don't, you go to university, which makes you ready for other steps,
When you were younger, did you have any idea what you wanted to do with the rest of your life?
Younger, what age? Like
10, 8, 7, you in grade school? Some kids want to grow up and be an astronaut or be...
Not really. Not really. Because it changed all the time, like in my head, Like one day I wanted to be like figure skating, the next day I wanted to be something else. I was also playing with the idea to be a car mechanic. I was into the cars at one point. I was all over the place.
Did you take training and everything for like figure skating and all that?
No!
Okay.
No, I was always good in gymnastics, and like dancing, so I was just like into it, but then it just kept changing on me.
Did you do any modeling or anything when you were younger?
No, nothing.
And when you were younger, did you ever see adult material?
No.
Was it forbidden? Was it?
Yeah, very forbidden, huge taboo, but like, oh, absolutely not.
So the first time you ever did see it, did the thought ever cross your mind that I could do that?
No, it never did.
Were you just too shy? Were you?
I just, the place where I grew up at, like people didn't talk about it. Like
Right.
sex was like a huge taboo, and especially in the small village. God forbid somebody would do like a sex work.
Right.
It was like absolutely no. The whole village was talking about the person. It was just like no. That's how I grew up. This was super like no.
And your family was against a true sex?
When they found out, which was years later, because I was good at hiding it, then somehow my parents, because they are still like younger,
Right.
I was afraid that it's gonna go bad, but they actually took it okay.
And did you tell them, or how did they find out?
No, I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them. It was my sister who did.
So
Because I popped in magazine in Slovakia, and she's like, there is no way I can hide this from them. The dad is gonna find out for sure, because he's buying that magazine. It was like a weekly or daily news, something.
Right.
And I was cross off 2 freaking pages, like page 9. And she's like, there is no way I can hide this. It's impossible. And he is buying that shit, so...
But the rest of your family, did they know you were doing it other than your parents?
Nobody knew. Just my sister. She knew from the beginning. She was my partner in crime.
And did you start in regular modeling and then go into adult work? Or
No, I started directly with the DP scene.
How did you start then? How did you get in the business? And
One girl, I was working in a restaurant, and I moved to capital city, Bratislava, from that little village, from one side of Slovakia to another. And I was working in a restaurant in the bar, and when I was walking out, going home, she stopped me at, like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I work for a photographer and I would like you to come in for like a casting, and it's like a lingerie shooting, it's like a little bit sexy but nothing crazy. And I was just like, okay. Then she convinced me, so I'm like, okay, let's go. So I went with her and I ended up in front of Pierre Woodman
Okay.
in Budapest.
Did you know who Pierre Woodman was?
I had no freaking idea. You know, I didn't know what is about to happen until I'm sitting there and they hand me a magazine and I opened the magazine. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's just like, I'm thinking in my head, what is happening? Like, what is going on?
What convinced you to stay?
He did. He was good. He was good in convincing. He did. So yeah, I tried. But I'm also, my personality, like in life, I like to take a risk and I like to take up on challenge, and I have huge curiosity in me naturally. So I'm just gonna try sometimes things that I would say, oh, never. In my case, it's never say never because they can change in a year or two. So yeah, he convinced me, and she did convince me because she was Slovak. She worked for him before, and I actually liked her, you know, so yeah.
Was he doing his series like he is now, or was he just directing at that point?
Oh, what is he doing now? The Pierre Woodman casting?
Yeah, the Woodman casting thing.
Yeah. That was a Woodman casting, yeah.
So you worked with him and you worked with, I forget the guy's name, but it's the same guy all the time.
I don't. That was a long time ago, but that was, yeah, we did Woodman casting. But first, we did a photo. No. First we did a photo set.
Right.
I was like me and with the toy.
Right.
It was my first time using toy, in my, like ever. And then we did the scene, yeah.
And just out of curiosity, you go from, you're going to shoot sexy pictures to a DP.
Yeah, I locked myself in the bathroom right before the scene. I didn't want to come out. I was so scared.
So at what point, though, all joking aside, at what point does it hit you that you're about to do a porno movie?
That hit me right when I locked myself in the bathroom, but like actually the guys who work for him, like they were nice, but I was kind of like, okay, I can pull that with the one guy, but how am I gonna do it like with two of them? But they convinced me. They were actually really nice, so yeah.
And did you work with Pierre too, or just the two guys?
It was two guys. It was Pascal, I remember, and I don't remember the other guy name. So with them, yeah.
And is it like a shoot here where you do your pictures first and you do all that stuff? Or did they just go right into the sex?
We did pictures first and then it was sex, yeah.
And had you had anal sex before that?
No. No.
Curious about it?
I was.
So you thought about having anal sex before?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you start the actual physical scene, is the dialogue harder than the sex to do for you?
I didn't speak English, first of all, at all. That girl who was there from Slovakia, she was basically a makeup artist and she was translating everything, you know. So I didn't speak nothing. But I would say for me, with my personality, it's just, you just have to throw me into that shock therapy, you know. I'm just gonna like kind of like dive through it or just like skate through it somehow, you know. I just needed to be there, because if you give me like space to get out of it, I will definitely get out of it. If I'm like in the middle of it, I was just like, shit, now nowhere to go, just let's do it.
Before the actual shooting, were you sexually active?
I was, but not like DP and all kinds of positions, you know, hanging from the chandelier and stuff.
Your reaction the first time you have two penises in front of you?
Yeah, it was interesting. Because first, you know, when you think, you overthink.
Yeah.
So you will always overthink, and it is always like over dramatic, you know.
But as you go through the shoot, do you become more comfortable and enjoy it, or are you just trying to get it over with?
No, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I did.
Did you become a crazy nymphomaniac after that?
No, I didn't. No, definitely not. I still prefer to this day to work only with one guy.
And you still shoot boy girl or no?
For my OnlyFans, yeah. Only.
You do the first shoot, it goes well. Do you immediately start working a lot, or do you take time off and think about whether you want to do this?
No, after the first shot, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's over. And because I'm like, if every scene is gonna be a DP, absolutely not.
You've done gangbangs in the whole thing, though, right?
I didn't do gangbangs.
I thought you did. I'm sorry.
No. Oh, no, I would run for my life. That will not happen. I worked with 3 guys. That was my only one scene, which was for Justin Slayer, and that was it.
How long between the first scene and then you come back to work again?
Okay, so we are talking about maybe, 6 months, maybe 10, almost a year.
And what brings you back?
She contacted me again, and it was like, that was not actually a scene. It was a month vacation in Cape Town, South Africa. I was like, oh, you're gonna do so and so like amount of scenes, and the rest of it is like traveling. Like, oh, I'm going.
Then,
Selfishly.
but you come back, and without kissing your butt, you blow up. You become very popular.
Yeah, I did, but I don't know when.
You were surprised by that?
I was, because I never wanted to be. I always wanted to hide from family members.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I never wanted to be like big. I thought I'm somehow gonna make it, like do it, and
were the rest of the scenes anal and DP?
no. Then I was booked like for Gogol and solo,
Okay.
normal scenes, because in my head, first of all, I'm like, is this everything the same? But Pierre is big on DP stuff,
Yeah.
right? But then I started to work with Czech agency, and it was like booking for Gogol, solo, pictures, so it had different vibe,
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I like that, because it's different.
Did you have a preference between the two?
No, what?
Prefer shooting Go Girl as opposed to DP or solo and...
DP is okay, but I'm not a big fan of it,
Right.
honestly, because I'm like, I like to pay attention to the person I'm with. It's just 2 guys, and it's just too much for me.
Okay.
And to enjoy myself,
What point do you come to America and start shooting?
I came here first time in 2010
What was that like? What was...
to work here.
Yeah, as opposed to... Because people say you shoot harder scenes in Europe than you do in America. Like, it's just more intense and it's more anal and the whole bit.
Really? I don't know about that.
Okay.
Really?
How long did you shoot in America?
How long? For 3 months only. Because I had the paperwork good for 3 months, so it was for 3 months. But I wouldn't say the scenes are more intense in Europe. Maybe they look like, but they took a longer time.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure, like when you work for Dorsal or private, like it is like that. It was like a whole big movie, with all these
Right.
lines and the scenery and everything. But in US, it was more like a Gonzo style, so it was more quicker. But I wouldn't say they were like more hardcore than here.
Did you have a preference? Did you like doing dialogue or just wanted to have sex?
I do like to switch, because I will get burnout if I do one thing like over and over. I need to switch. So yes, I liked also the dialogue 12-hour locations, because I did. And sometimes, and when I was doing like many of these movies, then I'm like, oh, some Gonzo would be nice, or oh, where is some Gogol scene?
And did you have a group of performers you like to work with, or did you just work with anybody they paired you with?
Yeah, I work with anybody. I don't have problem with people.
And was there a point when you felt you'd established yourself in the business?
Like maybe when I was here in US. Yeah.
Did you win awards or do any of that stuff? Did that stuff matter to you?
No. I wasn't aiming for that.
Right.
You know, I was just like, then I got to the point I enjoyed my work.
Right.
You know, I was just doing it and I was enjoying myself, and then I'm like, okay. And I like to work with people, so with me, if you paired me with somebody new, I was like, oh, good. Because I wanted to meet a new person, you know, like.
Is it a thrill for you to have sex with somebody you don't know too? Is it exciting for you to have sex maybe with somebody you don't know that you
Yeah,
just
maybe
met?
you like that person in the future and they pair you again with that person. It's like, oh, this is cool.
But do you have to like the person when you shoot with them?
If you don't know them, you don't know if you like them, right?
Right. But I mean, some people here, they don't like the people that they're, you know, it's a job. They come in, you're working with Greg today. Okay.
I was like that. Okay, I don't know what I'm walking into if I didn't know somebody, you know. And then after the scene, you realize you do or you don't.
And were you ever pushed past your limits?
No.
Did people respect them?
Always. Always.
Did you ever experience the casting couch?
What is that?
For sake of discussion, you go to a GOSI. You know what a GOSI is?
No.
You go to a production office or a meeting, and
Okay.
you go into the office. They want to see what your body looks like. You show them your body.
Okay.
And then the guy basically says, I want to hire you for a lot of work, but first I have to try out the goods.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
You can kiss my ass on the way while I'm walking out of your office.
Good for you. Then you left the business for a while, right?
I left the business after 3 months I was working in US because my paperwork, I was waiting for my paperwork, which took forever, you know.
Okay.
And then I got the paperwork and I completely like injured myself. I ended up in hip surgery. Right before I got my paperwork, and here I have pictures from my MRI. You can go to work because you torn your labrum. So yeah.
So when you stop working in the adult business, what do you go back and work at the restaurant?
No, I was always like in feature dancing, webcamming, and I just came back for basically OnlyFans for like, because I always like to interact with them. Back in my past, we are talking about all the feature dancing I did. So I always met with my fans in Europe, you know, because they used to come and they travel to the clubs where I was dancing.
Right.
So
Nice.
this is kind of exciting for me because I always liked that part. Because when I retired also in Europe, I was retired from the movies, but I was dancing my ass around. I was Spain, Italy.
In the clubs in Europe, you could do live sex too, right, or no?
No. You
Just
can
dancing.
use toy
Okay.
only. But you can go fully naked and you can do the show with the vibrator.
Tell me about your OnlyFans.
Oh, my OnlyFans is Angel Dark XXX. And what do you want to know?
How frequently do you update? Do you?
Every day. Every week I talk to them every day. And I have lots of loyal fans and it's fun to talk to them. I don't know. Like,
Do you do custom videos?
oh yeah, I like them. Those are fun.
Craziest request you got for a custom?
It's not crazy. It's different. It was different. I was dressed as a vampire queen, and I was basically seducing him as a vampire queen. And then I have one guy from Italy. He knows who I'm talking about if he's gonna ever hear this interview. And he always comes with such a cool customs, and he always like brings that. What I used to like back in the day, you know, like the Salieri style of porn, like Marc Dorcel, and it's always different idea. It's like he's as a voyeur, or I am as like a secretary, or I did a custom for him, which was like an anal in my kitchen, and I was basically sticking up glass dildo in my ass, dipped in honey. That was interesting. I'm like, wow, how is this gonna feel like? And I was like, oh, this is actually nice. So yeah, I like customs. They are fun.
Okay.
No,
Tell me about your social media handles. So you're on Twitter and Instagram and all.
I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram. Yeah,
What are the handles?
On my Twitter is AngelXDark XXX, and my Instagram is AngelDark is back. Hopefully they will not cancel me again, both of them.
How important do you interact with your people when you pick up ideas for shooting content for OnlyFans? Like,
Oh, I love that when they tell me what they like, because then I like the new ideas. Sometimes there are things I don't even think about,
right.
you know, and they will bring some idea. I'm like, wow, this is actually cool.
Derek, or is that
Derek,
Chris?
yeah, Chris, both of them, yeah. I like Derek, yeah.
When you're not shooting movies and doing stupid interviews like this, what do you like to do?
Like in my private life?
Yes, ma'am.
I have 4 dogs, so let's go there first. Until I walk all of them. I spend time with my dogs, and I love summertime. You know, swimming and hanging out with my dogs, and I do webcamming too. And I don't know.
And how much different are you than the person people see on camera? How much of this is an act?
How much of this?
Is an act.
Well, now I'm not acting because I'm sitting in front of you. But like, I don't know what you mean by act.
A lot of girls in the business, the minute you turn on a camera, they get all stupid and shit.
No,
They try and be something else.
No, because I'm not like that in my scenes too. Like, I'm not much of the talker when I have sex. Like, you know, the talking.
Right.
It's not who I am. I do enjoy myself too much, like, selfishly. I can be thinking about talking in different language, you know? So yeah, not much different.
And from being in the sex business now, do you still like sex? Or
Yeah.
is it just a job?
No. Of course you like sex. I mean, when people get tired of sex, I think I would have to be like 70 or 80 or something, you know?
And do you have any ideas what you want to do after the business?
After the business, we'll see what the future brings. I can't plan, I can tell you that. Because as soon as I plan something, it's crashed.
And
And I change a lot, so
at this point, any regrets in your career?
no.
Your family knows, everybody knows, everybody's
Yeah,
happy?
no.
The people you grew up with, do they know that you're in the business?
Yeah.
Are they surprised by it? Are they shocked? Are they?
Some of them are like happy, some of them are like, oh my god, I'm like, okay, if you don't like it, then don't watch it, no?
Do you remember when you lost your virginity?
Yeah, it was a couple months before I was 18 years old.
Where it was and all that?
Huh? My boyfriend back in the day.
And you do it the first time, do you immediately become sexually active?
Slowly, not like crazy. Mind you, I'm still living where I was, right? So everything is taboo. Like, I can't compare this to porn.
Prior to going all the way, had you masturbated or given blowjobs or done anything?
Before?
Before losing your virginity?
Yeah, with my boyfriend, because I had that boyfriend like I was 15 till like 18.
And he was the boy that you lost your virginity to then?
Yeah,
So you gave him blowjobs and stuff? Before?
yeah, before that, yeah.
Right now, do you consider yourself good at giving a blowjob?
Yeah, I think so.
For
Yeah.
you, what's the secret to a good blowjob? Are you a hand person, a spit?
I know you use spit, you don't use your teeth. You are gentle with it, I don't know.
Okay. And for you, do blowjobs have to go into sex? Or can you just give
Not
somebody a blowjob?
always. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I am into mood like to give blowjobs, sometimes I just want it straight away. It just depends on the mood right in that moment.
And remember the first time you were with the girl?
Yeah.
Where that was and all that?
I was a scene with the girl. It was nice.
And you like women off camera or just on camera?
I like both.
Do you have a look for you? Everybody has a look.
For who? For the woman?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of woman do I
Yeah.
like?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a type, if you're asking for a type. Because there are some hot girls that I used to work with, like my best friend back in the day, you know, Jane Darling. Like, she was blonde, but then I like the girls that are dark skinned too. The same goes for me with the guys. I don't have a type. the chemistry is important, you know?
Do you like having sex in public?
Oh yes, I do.
For you, is the turn on that you might get caught or people are watching?
Both.
Have you been caught?
Not yet.
There's this thing called a badge bunny. Do you know what that is?
No.
For sake of discussion, you're having sex in public and a policeman stops you or catches you.
Okay.
A badge bunny, you work it out with the policeman to let you go.
Oh, okay.
Would that be something you would do?
Oh, if I will probably get into huge trouble, then I need to get out of this, right?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Do you have a bucket list of places you want to have sex?
Bucket list? You can do it here. In US, you are like, people are strict here, you know?
Is there any one scene you're saving for the end of your career where you can say, I did this and I'm done?
We'll see what the future brings, I don't know.
Do you have any celebrity crushes?
Oh, I do. Chris Brown.
What would you do to Chris Brown if you could?
Huh?
What would you do to Chris Brown if you could?
Everything. Everything possible.
What could he do to you?
Huh? Anything he wants.
Any girls?
Any girls from Megan Fox.
Okay. And she can do anything she
I
wants?
would probably drop a guy for Megan Fox.
And when it comes to sex, are you sub or dom?
More submissive than dominant. I can be, but naturally I'm more submissive.
With guys and girls?
Yeah.
You as a woman, what is it that gets you going? You like your neck nibbled or your boobs played with or your crotch?
Definitely back of my neck, for sure. That will raise some goosebumps here, and like here,
Right.
yeah, and also down there. But I like penetration more than, you know.
And are you the type of woman that has to have sex 3 times a day?
No, I don't.
And are you used to going home and having sex after you've shot a scene?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not.
And for a man to have a chance in hell with you, tall, short, fat, skinny?
I don't have a time, I told you.
Okay.
I don't. I had people in my life that were shorter than me, and I don't have like, what is going on? I don't have like a type, like, it can have belly, it doesn't have to have belly.
Do they have a big cock?
No. You need to know what you do with your cock, so size, really, it doesn't matter.
Anything you want to say to all of your fans?
Join my OnlyFans, guys.
Which is?
Which is Angel Dark XXX. And we can talk more there. You can ask me all kinds of questions. Or you can get some customs. Or
Thank
give
you.
me some ideas.